Must just be special, I guess.
Ha! Makes you Adam Smasher 2.0, chum.
Adam who?
To some, a hero of the fourth corporate war. To others, a fully bugged boogeyman, a walking nightmare.
The important thing about creating a mythos beyond a boogeyman, the person, the big bad, the one that we all fear, when people tell a story over and over again, usually it gets worse and worse. That trope of, I thought that you would be taller, I thought you'd be stronger.
But to all, a living legend.
What kind of legend?
Every time the story is told, it becomes a little bit more scary. He's like our hero. He's like David, but stronger, better, scarier.
The kind that fills graveyards on Arasaka's orders.
An urban myth, that's all.
And usually we use these folklores, legends of boogeymen, in order to control people, to stop people from going out and trying something or doing something, because something bad would happen. Corporations, politicians, countries use these myths, these legends, these boogeymen, in order to be able to control a populace, so people don't get out of line. When we're scared, that's the first time that we're going to give up our privacy, our dignity, our rights, because we want to stay safe first. Our brain kind of shuts off the part that deals with critical thinking. And so often that fear going into a battle, being scared of something, already puts you at a disadvantage. And also, who tells the story makes a huge difference. This is coming from someone that you don't respect, that doesn't have any authority. It probably wouldn't have the same weight. But in this case, for David, it's coming from his surgeon, the one that's inserting the cyberware, that really understands this process and what could happen, who David already trusts to install his cyberware. And if someone you trust is scared and you look up to, there's a greater chance that you're going to feel this innate fear also. We mimic behavior because that usually is a good idea, especially if we're mimicking behavior of people we trust, people in places of authority, people that are our parental figures or teachers or mentors. Because then when danger happens, we're going to do what they do, and they've lived through more than we have. We kind of have this part of our brain that goes into record mode when times of stress or danger. And when we tell these stories, we're telling them in order to help curb behaviors going forward, to keep the tribe alive.
You're up against the cyber skeleton. Expect you'll have some fun. Smasher?
It's a child's toy reliant on anti-grav training wheels.
You notice that you don't really get to see anything about Adam Smasher. He stays mysterious in the show. Our imagination is often scarier than actually seeing something. When we hear too much about someone or find out too much about them, often then we're not as frightened because we have a knowledge base. He doesn't talk too much and we don't get to see too much about him. We don't even see his full body and scale. A lot of times when a bad guy is coming at you, they lose all their powers once they lose their mask or their mythos or the armor that they're wearing. And so I love that the first time we see him really is in the last few minutes of the show. It's like this little tiny Easter egg of a bad guy that we've kind of heard about. And our imagination can often make something much worse than knowing. One of those primal fears is the fear of the unknown, not having control, because if we don't know what something is, how can we prepare to battle or deal with it? And that's why we create myth stories. It was sometimes to control people and sometimes to make us feel better, all about the unknown. So we use the unknown in order to make people feel scared so that we wouldn't do things, and we created these myth stories to answer things that were unknown so that we would go towards things that we needed to, so we wouldn't be scared.
Not even worth my time.
Deeper voices are more frightening to us, or ones that have a pattern that isn't natural or normal. And so he doesn't sound human. You can tell that he's mostly cyborg, mostly machine. And so because of that, there's that lack of humanity, and things that are machine, things that don't have any thought or empathy are much scarier than bad guys or boogeymen that have a reason, an emotional connection to people or things, because in our mind, we might be able to reason with them. They might be able to stop. A machine is unrelenting. It will continue and do its job forever.
Adam Smasher, hurry! Go on, kill the boy!
Who the f are you?
I just love it. I love it because Adam Smasher doesn't care. He doesn't care who Faraday is. He doesn't know who he is. And he's just like, what are you even talking to me? You don't deserve to. And I think that's just a really cool thing because usually the big bad guy is like, oh, you know, do this. And then the mercenary is kind of out there and, oh, yes, of course I will do this for you. But Adam Smasher does his own thing. He follows the people that he's directly under and only them. And I love that he doesn't have respect for anyone else.
So this is Adam Smasher in the Chrome, NC Boogeyman of Legend.
You're packing some pretty heavy artillery for your size, boy. I'm surprised you could string 2 words together.
The psychology of when two people meet is really important, especially when there's a battle. Right away, David doesn't feel any fear towards Adam Smasher, and Adam also has a little bit of respect that David's able to handle as much chrome as he can. And fighters often do that. You see someone else that you can respect, that you understand what they're able to do, because no one else except another person with this much chrome could even understand the amount of mental fortitude that it would take to be able to carry it.
Heard you went no-ganic, full Borg, so I gotta ask, any brain left in that chrome dome of yours?
You could say I'm special.
Well, so the f*** am I.
When we talk about things and addictions, we often say it's not going to happen to me. I'm different. And that's one of those cognitive dissonances, those lies we tell ourselves in order to continue going forward to what we already want to do. It makes us not have to feel that bad because, oh, maybe I'll be different. Maybe the rules won't apply to me.
That a joke? Can you really afford distractions now?
And that's David's weakness and Adam Smasher's strength. And then we talk about humanity, and that's the thing. David cares. He cares about getting Faraday. He has this emotional connection and wanting to make sure that he gets justice. It left David distracted, and Adam took advantage of that. That's why Adam is so much scarier, because he doesn't care about anything but his mission. He has no emotional connections, no one that can be used against him in order to control him. All he cares about is his mission. There's not even much organic really left in him, even though I can't really see that there was much humanity into him in the first place. There really isn't any backstory of love or care. It seems like that's already been kind of bred out through everything he's already been through. And that lack of humanity, this big mythos that goes around things, makes things that may not even be really scary very, very scary. That witch, that Baba Yaga, even that immortal snail that is forever coming towards you. And that's why it's so scary, and we often stay anxious and don't want to be distracted, and we're constantly running through these fear scenarios because we believe that if we ever allow our defenses to be lowered, then that bad guy, that boogeyman, will actually come to get us.
We're having a moment here!
Rebecca!
Sound hits us in a very primal level. It's right next to those feelings of memories. And so there's different types of sounds that can actually make us feel eerie and that we're not feeling kind of safe or soothed. And so they use that really effectively. I think that hearing him move and the noises that he makes, that machine sound that's just constantly repeating itself, is really creepy and scary. Often the sounds that happen on a TV show we're not really even paying attention to, but they affect us. If you watch the same show or horror or scary scene without the sound effects in the background, often it's not even frightening. That plays upon that primal fear of it isn't exactly right. The pace is a little bit off.
I'm the one you're after, ain't I?
All the same meat to me. I'll slaughter each and every one of you.
He's already better than David in certain ways because he's not affected by all of the chrome the way that David is. He has to deal with his immunosuppressants and he can't. And so we end up starting to feel this feeling of hopelessness that he's not going to be able to do it. And we end up going through this feeling of learned helplessness. If we feel like we can't do everything, we've tried everything that's around us, we end up deciding to just give up. It's something that can happen in all mammals. When we've tried and tried and tried, eventually our brain kind of goes, why even bother? None of it will make a difference. And once we do that, we can end up not just giving up and allowing whatever bad things to happen to us, but we can go through a feeling of depression. And we no longer produce any adrenaline. We just kind of feel at peace accepting our own fate.
I I had some fun after all. You could prove an interesting construct.
Whatever, Choom.
Ah, well.
And even at the end, especially after they've battled, there's no animosity, there's no emotion between what Atom Smasher does. He actually respects David for being able to do as much as he could to be able to handle Chrome almost as well as he can. David would rather choose to die, and he ends up oppositional to the end, laughing in the face of death. Atom Smasher had that cold response that it really didn't matter to him either way. It was just a mathematical situation that he might be good on the team. And that's what makes him such a strong boogeyman, that no matter what, there was no emotion, no upset. He had a mild amount of fun in order to battle. There was a little bit of a challenge from David, which I guess from David would be considered a win. If you want to see more about the psychology of your favorite shows, check out some of my other videos. And you can also check out my Arcane Season 1 Jinx Complete Saga. That's a compilation video of all my Jinx-related videos. It's nearly 2 hours long and available ad-free, sponsor-free, only on Nebula. And Nebula's bundled in for free when you sign up with today's sponsor, CuriosityStream, at curiositystream.com/Georgia Dow, or by clicking on the link below. Right now today, because you're watching this video, you can get CuriosityStream on sale for 26% off, less than $15 a year, less than the price of a movie ticket for the entire year. And that includes their thousands of amazing documentaries like the series David Attenborough's Light on Earth. Why do animals produce light on their own? For centuries, we could only marvel at the mystery of bioluminescence, but now we can begin to reveal the amazing truth of these living lights. Signing up is the best way to support educational creators directly and the best deal in streaming today. So for over 26% off CuriosityStream, less than $15, and Nebula for free, just click on the button on the screen or head on over to curiositystream.com/Georgia Dow. Clicking on the link really does help out this channel, and thank you CuriosityStream for sponsoring this video. So those are my thoughts on Atom Smasher, why this show was so devastating at the end. Let me know what your thoughts are, and what are your thoughts on Atom Smasher.